Alright, for those of you guys who think I don't wear a mask, here it is. I always wear a mask, okay? Always. I don't wear two gloves, but the glove that messes with the vaporizer, I wear this one to keep from burning my hand. And I've got my glasses on as well, okay? Plus the belt. My jacket serves as long sleeves. So I am protected. Alright, so let's go over some of the stuff that I'm using in my little gear bag. This is just a Craftsman tool bag. My wife found a bunch of these on clearance a couple years ago, and I use them for a variety of things, but one of the things I use them for is my ProVap 110 and all my stuff. I keep everything in this bag for the simple reason that it's convenient. I can grab this bag and my drop cord and I'm ready to go. I don't have to dig around for a lot of stuff. So when I bought my ProVap, well, no, not when I bought my ProVap 110. When I bought my first like meth spoon type vaporizer, the wand, I got this bag, this little can here, plastic container of oxalic acid. This is what the guys, and it was at the North Carolina, South Carolina Joint Beekeepers Association meeting in the spring. Must have been, I don't know, the spring of 18 maybe. Maybe 17, I don't know, it's in Rock Hill. I got this oxalic acid with the wand. They also sold me my mask. I always wear a mask. I know some people questioned me one time about whether or not I wear it. I always wear my mask. Man, I don't play around with this stuff, okay? I always wear it. It may be hard to see me wearing it under my veil, but it is there. This mask, I don't exactly know what kind it is. Right there you see a 3M 51 01, 52 01, 53 01. I'm guessing maybe that's some chemical stuff that it protects. Not really sure. Warning label there. There's some type of lot number there. Oh, somewhere on here, right there. Organic vapors. That's what it says. Okay, it says organic vapors. So that's it. So it's got cartridges, and you can buy these little things here to put in it. They gave me those as well. See if I can get this kind of shaded so you guys can see. So there's what those things say. 3M, it's 5P71. I don't know. Maybe you guys can figure it out. I don't have the cartridges, but I'm hoping by showing you this information you'll be able to figure it out. So there's the mask. Okay, so this piece here, it just snaps on to that and it does its thing. So inside my bag here, you see one of my caps is already in there. That's trash. This came with my vaporizer. Not my vaporizer. It came with my inverter. It's just another way of hooking it up so I can plug this in to my cigarette lighter, but remember it doesn't work, so you can see it's still in factory little wrap there. There's some junk from the kids. I have two measuring things. I don't know if this red one come with a vaporizer or if it's just something that I've thrown in there to try out. This red one is a ½ teaspoon. The one that I use and the one you see me use is this black one. It is a ¼ teaspoon. I want to think that the recommendation is an 1/8 of a teaspoon, but I could be wrong. but I use a 1/4 teaspoon. I normally fill this thing all the way up. I peck it on the side so it's level. One thing that I have learned over the years, if I do this thing kind of heaping over and put too much oxalic acid in it, it will blow the top off. Oh, my smoker is choking me. It's in my truck there. It will blow that white cap off the top, and if you're wearing a short sleeve shirt or if you're not wearing gloves, that oxalic acid will burn your skin. So I do the 1/4 teaspoon thing there level. Now I don't know, like I said, I can't remember if that's the recommended dose or not. I don't really care if it is or not. You know, this is what I use, so if it's supposed to be an 1/8, if it's supposed to be a 1/2, I don't really care. I'm using a 1/4. That's my way of doing it. So always got my my measuring thing in there. I run out of this, so I bought this off of Amazon. This was the oxalic acid that I bought off Amazon. Basically, I like it in this little in this thing better than I do like a bag, because it's easier to get out of here. So I just refill this can with this bag. So the can goes in here, the bag of oxalic acid goes in here, my mask fits in there, both my caps fit in there. I have this glove. This is just a big leather work glove. I only wear one on my right hand. You may have seen me in the in some of the videos. I lay the caps on the tops of the hives. I put the oxalic acid in. Then I basically flip the vaporizer upside down on top of the cap, kind of hanging off the side. And with my glove hand, I actually mash down on the vaporizer. Ooh, it's still hot. I mash down on the vaporizer to mash the cap on. So I always keep a leather glove in there to protect my hand from getting burnt. I don't wear a big bulky glove on my left hand, because it's normally the hand that I try while I'm holding the vaporizer with one hand. On some hives, I'll take my left hand and I'll fill up the next cap and get it ready. So I do that. This little bag here, my vaporizer is hot, so I'm not going to leave it in there, but it will also fit in there, and whenever I get it in there, I can zip all this up. So I also keep an old t-shirt inside my bag. You've probably seen me in the videos. I am a very big proponent of the recommendation of putting a 1/4 inch hole in the back of normal colonies. So like this 8-frame hive here, it has the open front. I have a 1/4 inch hole drilled in the back. I used to try to put golf tees in there, but I keep losing them. So the bees will propolis that 1/4 inch hole. That's fine. What I do is I basically just take the vaporizer, I with it flipped upside down, I stick it in the hole, I will pull it back out, and I'll look at the hole in the vaporizer to the tip to make sure that it's not clogged up with any type of propolis or anything like that. If it is, I'll take my finger with my glove hand and try to knock the stuff out of the hole to clear it out. If that hole is clogged, or if you put too much oxalic acid in that ProVap 110, it will blow the white cap off. Okay, it'll scare the crap out of you, and it'll burn you if you're not protected. So I have the 1/4 inch hole there, and that's what I use on these little 4x4 hives here. Now back to this one. The reason I put the hole in the back, I actually take the t-shirt. That's what the t-shirt's for. You've probably seen it. I lay a t-shirt across the front entrance and shut it off. Then I put the vaporizer in the back, flip it over. I let it go. It normally hangs around 230 to 240. Then when you flip it upside down, it goes down to like 210 to 215. It'll work its way back up. When it's back up in the 220s, then I will pull the vaporizer out. I'll take the shirt off the bottom and go to the next hive. So that's what I do for my normal hives. I'm a big fan of that. A lot of people will just stick the vaporizer in the front of the hive. You know, the bees are circulating air through the hive. There's normally a flow of air coming out of the hive, and I just feel like, personally, whether it's true or not, I don't know, I just feel like you don't get as good of a fog inside the hive when you just stick it in the entrance, because there's so much air coming out the front that a lot of the vapor comes right back out the front, so you don't get a good coverage. So that's why I do that on those. Now on these little side-by-side hives, you see I've got the 3/4 inch hole in the front. I don't have a 1/4 hole in the back. I don't have a way to shut this off because it's flat. So all I do on these, I just stick the vaporizer in that hole. I have been trying to tip it down so the tip of the vaporizer is pointed up. And the reason I do that, same reason, there's air and a current coming out of that hive, out of that hole. So if I kind of tip it up, I kind of shoot the vapor up into the hive, and hoping that when the bees are fanning and start circulating it, hopefully I can get the vapor up above that draft that's coming down through the hive, and help all of that vapor circulate up through here. Whether that's true or whether that even helps, I don't know, but it makes me feel better. I at least feel like I'm trying. So that's what I do. That's kind of how I've come to do things, and you know, I love my ProVap 110. It works really, really well. So we got all these hives done. I pulled the old Swiffer sheets out, put new Swiffer sheets in, and well, not just the Swiffer sheets, I put another half of a pollen patty on all these hives and covered them with Swiffer sheets. It worked really, really well. Most of these are old. They are really propolized. I've had them in there for a while. So there's not a whole lot of hive beetles on some of these. I'm telling you, I just went through all of these hives, and see, some of these do. Some of these have a bunch of hive beetles and things on them. But I just went through all these hives. This yard, and I guess I don't know if it's because it's in the pines. Some people tell you that's a bunch of crap. I don't know if it's because it's in pine trees and it's in the shade, but this yard generally has an overwhelming number of hive beetles in it. I just cracked the tops on all these hives, pulled the old Swiffer sheets out, and put new patties in between all the boxes and all that. I don't know that I've seen a single hive beetle. I'm sure there's some in there. I'm sure I just missed them. But, you know, popping the hives open and seeing hive beetles scurrying everywhere like normal just didn't happen this time. So I know there's some people have tried it, and, you know, they've had some worms on their pollen patty despite the Swiffer sheets. And like I said in the first video, some worms are going to be normal. You're feeding pollen patties. It's going to happen. But you just need to really focus on the amount of pollen patty to the size of the hive. Don't put a 1 pound patty on a box that's only got 3 frames in it. You know, if you got a good 5-frame nuke, throw you a ½ pound on there. If you got a full-size hive, some of these full-size hives down through there, I put a whole pollen patty on it, whole pound, with 2 Swiffer sheets covering it real good, and they'll be fine. They'll eat those up. So that's it. I just wanted to go over my ProVap 110 gear bag, kind of give you a little bit of a show on, or kind of tell you exactly how I'm doing things. It's not rocket science, nothing set in stone. You do it however works best for your system, but that is my system, and maybe something that I'm doing will help you do what you're doing. All right, you guys have a good one.